my gosh. This head is 3 Ash, 1 Maxi. And he surrenders. Oh, okay. Sure. On to the next game. Interesting hand I opened with, except I got Cobra, which sucks. Now this game was quite interesting. I opened Droplet and Cyber Signs into Naturia Bees. Oh, he's playing Balons. Of course. I would have went for the other card. Could have gone for the other card, but I'm assuming it doesn't have a bridge for that, so yeah. And it makes access codes of Appaloosa, which is a weird choice. And then look what I top deck, Super Poly, and yeah, Super Poly both his Naturia Beast and his access code. And yeah, I think that's just GG. Try goes to Pelia, and he surrenders. GG. Oh right, I decided to try Soul of the Supreme King. And sets and pass. Well then. No response yet. Quite curious if they bricked. No nib either. Yeah, they probably bricked really hard, so I just have combo. This will give me my second. I can actually just make the yeah, they surrender. Alright, GG, moving on. Another go second hand. What does he play? Synchros with that. Interesting. What kind of synchro board are you gonna make? Double jet synchrons and makes Satellite Warrior. Okay. honestly don't know what's going on right now. I'm just lost. Formula Synchron. Okay. Draws another card. Monster Reborn. And then he takes all that to Majestic. Okay, Majestic is here. That's one negate. I can probably play through this. That depends on what its back row is though. Triantis, and then oh, it's that card. I'm assuming he's gonna recycle the Majestic for 2 negates. Yeah, and then so I of course Super Poly here. I can only target the Satellite Warrior, sadly. I'm just gonna pray he doesn't negate my Triantis effect, so that I can contribute away his Majestic, but he negates my Triantis, predicting that I have a Hydra in hand already. So yeah, oh, goes my Triantis. Then I add Scorpio, of course, and he's gonna recycle it back. So I'm gonna try to play around that somehow, and he draws a card. Okay, so he decides to just banish my my Predaplant. Okay, sure, why not? Now that's gone, at least I have some play, I don't know what. So Predapractice, adds Buffalo, I'm just gonna call it Bullfrog. Darling Cobra. It's that Ultra Poly here. Do that lizard thing, and then I add another card, Triantis. So sadly, I couldn't, whatchamacallit, actually no, now that I think about it, I should probably use my, I should Polymerization add instead. It's probably a misplay here. He has another converter, and he's probably going to do another play off converter, and he's going to negate my Ash, and now he will, well, I'm going to negate that. He should not attack over my Hydra. Okay, he decides to attack my Hydra, which is not a good play right now. So now I get to tribute his Majestic, and he can't respond to it. Yeah. And now I fusion. Honestly, I feel like I should just summon the Kami and then just fuse with that instead. I probably should have done that. I add Predaplant in, and that's about all I can do right now. Should probably wait until his end or closer to his end phase to use it instead, just in case he has a Formula Synchron again. But I activated preemptively. And this should be lethal here because, well, not lethal, but at least I can just break his board. So I decided to just end with this. There's no need to go further. Well, I could go further. I probably should have went further. But oh well. And what do you draw? Looks like he surrenders. Well, GG. Next game. This will be the last match, and looks like I decided to go second. Again, something. Dragon Shrine, and looks like a Blue Eyes player. Oh, another draw, so he draws another 2. Nebula Dragon, so he's gonna exceed summon, I'm assuming, into a Hope Harbinger. Yep. And he's gonna summon 2 Blue Eyes off of that card, so that's 1 jet. I'm assuming he's gonna summon another jet. And look at that, so he has 2 jets plus a negate and whatever that back row is. So here I decided maybe I should go for a Chimera type of play. So I use Frankfurt and then chain it to Droplet, sending a little bit more than usual to deal with all 3, and he solemns. Well, that sucks. No matter. He only has a spell negate anyway, so I can play around that. I should have added a Scara Predaplant thing instead. The reason is I can just poly that away on normal to search again. I go for the frog plus the Gigantus, and then alright, moving on then. So I got a bit bored with pure Predaplants and decided to go back to my branded Predaplants, and this is basically full combo. So branded opening looks like it has no disruption, so Luber will search my branded fusion. I will search my Frankfurt package. Patchwork will add me Polymerization and the Edge Imp. Then I use Branded Fusion, mills my 2 to summon my Albion, and my Albion will fusion summon, and my Remorin will mill another card, specifically my Biblips. So I banish my Tragedy and Albaz to summon Rebellion. Rebellion will discard my Polymerization since I no longer need it. Tragedy will add me my Libitin and my Biblips. I forgot what I added. Oh, I added the frog here. Alright. And then Ultra Polymerization to give me Masquerade. Use the Ultra Polymerization to revive back the Albion and the Luber. And then I use my Frog to fusion again. And that is pretty much lethal right here, unless you can answer this. I have 1 banish at the moment, a negate, taxes, super poly, branded in red to recycle the banish, and then a pop off chimera. So since I'm playing against Odd Eyes right now, it's difficult for them to recover off of this, so that should be just GG. Mirror Jade is back, so now he has to deal with the Banisher again, plus the negate and taxes. Now here, I don't know why I couldn't Starring Venom Fusion Dragon, so I just made another Dragos Stapelia for game. GG, bud. So now on to the deck list. This is more of I decided to play more second than going first, because for me, unless it's branded Predaplant, their end board for going first isn't as flashy. Like, you can get sometimes 2 Dragos Stapelias and maybe a Super Poly if you open Super Poly, but for the most part I feel like going second is more favorable, which you've seen in most matches. I have decided to go second instead to try and break boards. So yeah, this is a more of a go second. If you want more go second cards, you can add more of that, and they'll do just fine, because a lot of their combos consist of going into your this card here, which name I don't know how to pronounce. But anyway, on to the names. So Scarasenians, one of the triple Bivlips. Oh my gosh, what are these names? I'll just call it Cammy, okay? 2 Cammys. Or it's Sundews, triple Lone Fire Blossom. Before the so post ban list, you're gonna cut Lone Fire for 2 Scorpios, since on January 10th, Scorpio is coming to 2, so you can play 2 Scorpios and you don't have to play the Lone Fire Blossom package anymore. You can add something else instead. But right now I'm playing triple Lone Fire Blossom just to get to my 1 Scorpio line, which of course you're currently only playing 1 Scorpio until January 10th, where we can play 2 copies of Scorpio. Of course, the one Darling Tintonia Cobra, because it's a once per duel effect, so you only need to play 1 copy and no more than that, and the effect is way too broken of an effect, because it searches any fusion name. So you can search branded fusion, you can search instant fusion, you can search super poly, you can search Destiny fusion, you can search any of them with the name fusion in it. So yeah, it's pretty good. Of course, the triple Ash, it's just too good still in this meta. It just answers to a lot of things, especially in branded. If you hit branded fusion, it kills their line for that turn, and yeah, they can't really do anything. Now to the Frightfur Edge Imp package, so 2 Edge Imp chains. That also follows up with, of course, the Frightfur Patchwork and the 2 polymerization to go with it. The 1 Hydra, it's a great way to break boards off of tributes. It's not an activational requirement, so as long as they have a Preda counter, you can just special summon this card and tribute away something you can't deal with for free, and they can't interrupt you in any way off that effect. It's also a way to lower the opponent's monster by 500 to hopefully stall game or give you more ways to deal with something you can't. So yeah, it's good. I do recommend playing one of. Of course, your fusion card. I'm just gonna call this a bullfrog. I really don't know how to pronounce the name, but you play 3 of this. You have to play 3 of this. It's your fusion. It also recycles away the Triantis, which is not a once per turn effect. So speaking of your triple Triantis, this will give you access to your Predaplants counters to allow you to tribute off your opponent's card when you go second, which is really strong because you can use Triantis to also chain block while also using this card to tribute their monsters thanks to Triantis, right? So 3 ofs. It's also high scale and it's a great target for Predaplants. Not much to say. So this is polymerization, of course, off the Edge Imp package. So 2 polymerizations. The 1 Foolish Burial just to get to your fodder cards, which is your Biblips. I believe Edge Imp as well. No, not Edge, sorry. So it's just basically playing 4 copies of Biblips just to get to your combo plays. The 1 Instant Fusion to also get to your to access your combo play, because your combo starts when you get to, again, the Lizard Thing Saurus card. I already talked about that. The 1 Ultra Polymerization to recycle your fusion targets. So play is use this again plus another card to go into Predaplants. Revive both of the fusion materials to fusion again to summon your second Predaplants. So you have 2 Predaplants on field for interruptions. So that's just one play you can do. The triple Predaplants, it's too good. It's special summon stuff you may want to summon instead of normal summoning. So for example, Predaplants will summon your Scarasensian something card, right, instead of normal summoning it, and then you can fusion summon it to have its effect live to search a Predap card. You can also bump this to 2 if you like. I'm just playing it on 1. On the next card, 2 Super Polymerization, of course. It's just too good at board breaking, especially in this meta with Branded roaming around and fusion stuff and whatnot. 1 Mass Change 2. You don't have to play the Mass Change 2. I just want to, because I just want to, but you don't have to. You can play more board breaking cards like Raigeki or Lightning Storm. Specifically Lightning Storm, because there are back row heavy decks like Labyrinth running around, or maybe Runix sometimes, don't know, but instead of Mass Change you can play more of that. Triple Droplets, of course, great way to deal with combo heavy decks while giving access to Biblips effect, and of course Edge Imp chain, right? And of course you can always chain it to another card, so that way you can have more access. So for example, if you Droplet, you chain it with Practice. So Practice and chain link 1 Droplet to negate, send, and combo off from that. Predaplanting is just another foolish. So usually for planning, you usually foolish the Biblips or the Hydra, whichever one you didn't use yet. But for most cases, you're always going to mill the Biblips again, and then put Predaplants counters on every single monster on the field that you can place a Predaplants counter on. And of course, its second effect is if you fusion summoned, you can pop a card on the field. That's about it for the main deck. Onto the extra deck. I'm playing a Super Poly target, Mud Dragon. There will be a better Super Poly target in the future, but for now, Mud Dragon is your optimal target for Super Poly, along with, of course, Starving Venom. They also have, honestly, a lot of targets for Super Poly, but they're all towards Dark for the most part. And right now, there's not many like Dark heavy combo boards, typically speaking, but there are sometimes, so it's still good to have other sort of Super Poly targets. But right now Mud Dragon's the one that I'm running. Of course, triple Preda God, this name's gonna kill me. This lizard thing, you play 3 of this. It's your bread and butter combo starter. It gets to your, it searches a card for free on summon, on fusion summon, and you tribute. And normally you tribute if you're going second, you normally try and tribute their monsters. If you put Predator counter on them, to then access to your name, so specifically Scorpio to get to your next play, or you can summon the Scara Sentient to fusion it off to search. So yeah, that's about it for that. And then the one Dark Law for the one Mass Change, playing this again just so I can deal with specific type of hand traps like Imperm or Veiler, but again it's not needed. You can play another fusion name or a link play if you desire to. Up to you really. Whoever designed these names, I'm just gonna call it Chimera. Predaplant Chimera, if it's your way to access your fusion targets once on the standby phase, of course, when this card is sent to the graveyard. If this card is banished or removed outside of the graveyard, then it won't have this effect, so just keep that in mind. But mainly it's there to give you back resources such as super poly or polymerization or anything that you might need, like instant fusion for follow-up plays. But generally speaking, it's there to banish a card that has less levels or equal to its level, which is a little difficult given that's a level 7, so it's a lot harder to always get off. But it's good way of it's a good way of getting your fusion for follow-up plays the following turn. That's about it. The one Starving Venom Fusion Dragon for super poly target, of course, is also a great way to copy an effect and or blow up a field, or blow up the monster rather. 2 Dragos Tapelias, their monster negates, it combos well with Predaplanting because it negates all face-up monsters on the opponent's side of the field with Predator counters. I'm trying Supreme King Starving Venom because you can access this card due to the fact that both the Frog and the Triantis are dark pendulums, so you can always use this effect to copy something just for some fun cheese plays. Really up to you. And it also has a piercing effect. Oh my gosh, the one Trip, I call it Trip. It's another super poly target if a deck is quite heavy on darks, but it's also a great way to end games thanks to cards like Triantis to apply Predator counters on all monsters on the field that you can apply counters towards, and it just gains the attack of every single monster with Predator counters on it. And it can get pretty huge. It's similar to like Arc Rebellion, except Arc Rebellion negates, but this still has some form of disruption and pretty much OTK. So one Chimera, of course, Guardian Chimera, because I don't know how to pronounce the other one, but Guardian Chimera is just another way to interrupt or break and then draw. Sadly, I wasn't able to summon this as often, Starving Venom Predator Power, but it's a good card in Predaplants. It revives itself if it was removed. You tribute a monster with Predator counter, so if they have a Predator counter, you're basically removing 2 cards off their side of the field, whether it's to negate and then tribute, or it's just for negate. But yeah, it's really strong. I sadly didn't get it out as much, but I would love to if I could. But matches aren't too long enough for me to do so. But I can definitely get it on branded Predaplant if I wanted to. The one Starving Venomy Dragon, another great option, negates right during your turn only, makes them lose 500 and copies their effect. And it has a decent scale effect for stalling. And the last card running is of course Verta Anaconda. And those are your fusion targets to deal with whatever, and yeah, that's about it. For me, I personally like branded Predaplants because I'm more combo favored than I am like slow grind or like ending off with just 1 or 2 monsters. Sometimes it's typically 1. that I'm seeing with Predaplants without branded, and that's just not my type of style of play. That's just me. But if you enjoy Predaplant, then by all means play it. It's pretty interesting and it does do quite a bit in the grind game, especially if the opponent doesn't answer to you or they don't go for a game as fast as they can, because for Predaplants, they do have ways to deal with boards, and it's quite nasty if not dealt with. But yeah, that's about it. Alright, take care everyone. Bye.